Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment's 32 teams, 32 days, and today we are talking about the Kansas City Chiefs, a team that made the playoffs last year, but man, got upset by my favorite team, the Tennessee Titans. What is in store for their upcoming 2018-19 campaign? Will they be upset again, or will they finally ascend to the Super Bowl behind their new shiny quarterback, Patrick Mahomes? We're going to discuss that today, discuss this team's strengths, discuss this team's weaknesses, give you my statistical projections for this football team, give you my bold predictions for this football team, and then end this video with my official win-loss prediction for the Kansas City Chiefs. So with that said, let's talk about this football team. Let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's talk about their strengths, and let us start with their wide receivers. Let's start with their best wide receiver, Tyreek Hill, the guy that has burst onto the scene in the NFL. He continues to be one of the NFL's most exciting playmakers, a guy that can make plays even in the preseason. He and Patrick Mahomes connected for a beautiful long pass. We see it time in, time out, play in, play out, not only offensively, but also on special teams. This guy is one of the NFL's most dangerous weapons. He continues to make highlight plays, great plays. I'm expecting more of the same during the 2018-19 NFL season. But they also added Sammy Watkins, the former Buffalo Bill, the former LA Ram. He is now taking his talents to Kansas City, and I don't love the fact that he can't remain in one location, but trust me, this is a talented wide receiver. Now, he has not lived up to the hype when he was drafted in his draft class, being drafted number 4 overall during that 2014 NFL draft class over guys like Odell Beckham Jr. at the wide receiver position, but he's still a good weapon in this league, and I think a damn good number 2 wide receiver to have. I just need him to be more consistent and ascend to his potential. His potential was so high coming out of Clemson. Sammy Watkins, please reach that potential. This team would be so dominant, so dangerous, my goodness. But they also have Chris Conley, who I love as a number 3 option in this offense. They also have Demarcus Robinson. They also have Anthony Thomas. This is a good, well-rounded wide receiver core, and again, it is headed by the beast known as Tyreek Hill. Whenever anything is headed by Tyreek Hill, I'm all for that. We also have a huge strength also on offense, and that is the running back position. I'm a huge fan of Kareem Hunt. He burst onto the scene himself from game number 1, absolutely leading the Chiefs in a victory over the New England Patriots with the help of Alex Smith, yes, but Kareem Hunt had a lot to do with that. I think he had 3 total touchdowns in that game. He was ridiculous, and he was ridiculous his entire rookie season, ending up with over 1,300 rushing yards and a number of receiving yards as well. I'm expecting more of the same from Kareem Hunt during this upcoming 2018-19 campaign. The running back position is also strength for the Chiefs. We consider their backup, their depth. They have Kendrick West and Spencer Ware, who's returning, so you have to like the running backs in Kansas City to me. From there, we do have some weaknesses for this football team, and to me, we actually must start again the linebackers, and this may surprise some of you. Okay, yes, we do have Justin Houston, who ascended back to being one of the better outside linebackers last season. Dee Ford has been a little inconsistent, had a great 2016 campaign production-wise last year, got a little banged up, and then had to miss half the year, so he didn't have a great year himself. You look at the other linebackers, though, they just got Reggie Ragland from the Buffalo Bills. Last year had an okay year to me, but he's limited. He's a run-defending linebacker, can't do anything in coverage. Daniel Sorensen, who we also have at the linebacker position here, he doesn't do enough for me. I want to see a little more from him, a little more versatility, a little more impact. He's just another guy out there to me whenever I watch him. So I want to see a little more from the linebackers here. They also got Anthony Hitchens from the Dallas Cowboys. With the Cowboys, they needed linebackers, and they got rid of Anthony Hitchens. So that's not a good sign to me. He's not a horrible player, but he's a guy that's not going to offer you too much. So I'd like to see a little more from the linebackers when it comes to the Kansas City Chiefs. Outside of that, I'm also concerned about the cornerbacks. I don't think that they're particularly bad. I'm just a little concerned. So we have Kendall Fuller, who the Chiefs are putting a lot of faith in. They let go of Marcus Peters, and they're putting a lot of faith in Kendall Fuller, formerly of the Washington Redskins. We're going to see how this works out, because I was a huge fan of Marcus Peters, and I still can't believe to this day that they made this trade. Kendall Fuller, I like. Steven Nelson, not so much. He has had his games where he has struggled, and that concerns me moving forward. David Emerson, he's definitely had his games where he struggled. He had a very good, I want to say, 2016 campaign with the Oakland Raiders, but then last year really struggled for them. So I'm really concerned about the cornerbacks moving forward. I think the Chiefs are going to end up being a more opposite team than we're used to seeing, being much more offensive offensive. Although last year they were pretty damn offensive with Alex Smith throwing for 26 touchdowns and Tyreek Hill being a beast. I'm expecting more of the same in that vein than maybe a couple years ago when the Chiefs were much more of a defensive football team. With that, so we move into the positions that are in between to me. Let's start with the quarterback position. I know a lot of you guys want to know what is my assessment of Patrick Mahomes, and I like Patrick Mahomes. Now, I was never the big Patrick Mahomes proponent. Oh, Patrick Mahomes is the great god, right? The internet loved Patrick Mahomes coming out. The internet wanted him to be drafted #1 overall during that 2017 NFL draft. I was never there. I said he deserves to be picked in the first round. 10 overall was a little high for me, but I said, okay, that's fine with me. I think he's going to do well. I think he's also going to do poorly in stretches. I think he's going to be up. I think he's going to be down. I think it's going to be a roller coaster that will ultimately do well and have a pretty elongated NFL career. I just worry about the down plays, the bad plays. I think there's going to be a good amount of them, but there's also going to be great highlight plays as well. He's very different than Alex Smith. So you wanted something different than Alex Smith. Patrick Mahomes will provide that. We're going to see what that means to the win column, though, and that's what we're interested about when we're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs. We move on, though, to the other positions, the offensive line. What's my assessment of that? So Eric Fisher at left tackle continues to be steady now. He started really rocky for his NFL career, and he still hasn't lived up to that #1 overall hype, but hey, as a left tackle right now in this league, he's all right to me, no problem there. Mitch Restore is one of the better right tackles in the NFL. Laurent Duvernay-Tardif at right guard, he's okay. Mitch Morse at center, not so much, and then Irving at left guard, So the offensive line is kind of in the middle, whatever. We have the defensive line, we have Chris Jones in the middle. He's really ascending, one of the better draft picks by the Chiefs in recent years. I love him in the middle of the defensive line, love that there. Also have Alan Bailey next to him, so I have to like that combination there to me. We look at the safeties, Eric Berry. So he's coming off of this torn Achilles, and man, this guy just keeps going through all this turmoil in his NFL career. Will he stay on the field? Will he be healthy? Will he be ready to go? Will he be the same Eric Berry? I'm not betting on it. The Achilles injury is so much, and he's already missed time before in his NFL career. I'm expecting lower production from Eric Berry. I think he's still going to be serviceable, but not the Pro Bowler he once was. Maybe he's going to prove me wrong. He's proven the world wrong before. We will find out, but I'm not very encouraged when it comes to the safety position. Not quite a weakness, but I'm going to have my concerns there for sure. Look at my statistical projections for the Kansas City Chiefs, and let's start with Patrick Mahomes. And whoa, let's start with this. 4,100 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, and an 89.0 passer rating. And I think this will be a good year from Patrick Mahomes, but you see the ugly side, the 14 interceptions. He's going to take his shots, and even though Andy Reid will not recommend it, he will do that, and he will have some interceptions. He will also have some highlight plays, and 4,100 passing yards is insane for a second-year quarterback, but I think he's going to be a very prolific passer in this league. 89.0 pass rating is okay. You'd be okay with that for a second-year guy. Running back Kareem Hunt, 275 carries, 1,250 yards, and a touchdown. So a little less than last year. I think they're going to throw it a little more, I guess. But at the same time, and also they're not going to be ahead as much in games to me to be able to run the football. And also they're getting Spencer Ware back, who's going to get involved in terms of the carries. And Charles Kendrick should get a little more carries than he got last year. But there's still a good set line to me. No problems here. And the wide receiver Tyreek Hill, about what he got last year. Less catches, but same amount of yards. So 70 catches, 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns. You're going to see more bombs like that 75-yard touchdown we saw from Mahomes to Tyreek Hill. So a higher yard per catch for Tyreek Hill, less catches with the addition of Sammy Watkins in free agency. We move on to my bold predictions for this team. Quarterback Patrick Mahomes again throws for over 4,000 yards. This is bold, you know, for a second-year guy that we don't know anything about to come in to throw over 4,000 pass yards. Like Marcus Mariota has never done that, right? So for Patrick Mahomes to come in and do that his first year starting, that would be impressive. That is bold to me. Bold prediction number 2, though. Kansas City Chiefs start 0-3. You look at the first 3 games for the Kansas City Chiefs, and these are difficult games indeed, and this is going to be a much different of a start than they had last season. Look at week number 1. They traveled to LA to face the LA Chargers, and I like the Chargers this year to win the AFC West. Right now, I still might change that prediction. Then they go week 2 to face the Pittsburgh Steelers, and look, we all know the Steelers can choke. They do it regularly. They did it in the divisional round game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, but I think this should be a win for the Steelers in week 2, and then this is where it gets bold, as I have the 49ers traveling to Kansas City and getting the victory. Again, I have my concerns about this Chiefs defense. It's gonna be Jimmy Garoppolo versus Patrick Mahomes. We're gonna see who's gonna win, but right now I got my money on Jimmy G, who I think whose defense is gonna be better than this Chiefs defense right now. So I got my money on Jimmy G, and I got the Chiefs starting 0-3 to start the 2018 season. And then bold prediction number 3, Sammy Watkins has another slightly disappointing season. I think he will produce more than he did last season. I'm expecting about 700 receiving yards, maybe 800, but I still think you're going to look at Sammy Watkins and say he's not as good as he should be. He's not the guy we were promised. We're still disappointed with Sammy Watkins. Will he ever be that guy? Some people thought he was going to come to the Chiefs and end up being the #1 target. I don't see that at all. He will get his fair share, but I still think you're going to see plenty of the other guys, including Travis Kelce, who will still produce more than him. So Kelce and Tyreek Hill produce more than him. Watkins comes in at number 3, probably 6, 7, maybe 800 receiving yards at the most to me. So with that said, what is my win-loss prediction for the Kansas City Chiefs? Here's the thing. Alex Smith, although he had his faults, okay, although he didn't have the strong arm, he didn't make the highlight plays that we loved, he was a winner, okay? He got the most out of this Kansas City Chiefs unit, okay? In terms of regular season wins, we could debate playoffs all we want. In terms of regular season wins, Alex Smith got you there. 10-6 you went last year, and you lost in the playoffs to the Tennessee Titans. That concerns me. Patrick Mahomes offers a lot of upside, also offers a lot of downside. Now, the schedule, I think it's a little difficult. Okay, as you're going up against the NFC West, which is a difficult division to me this upcoming season, and I think is going to give you a fair share amount of trouble. You're also going up against the AFC North, which is about in the middle. It's not very particularly hard, not particularly easy. But again, you're traveling to Pittsburgh, which I don't love. Hosting the Bengals should be a win. Traveling to Cleveland, who knows? I mean, I only have the Cleveland going 3-13, but let's say they go to 6-10, 7-9. Some people are expecting you could trip up and lose to a Cleveland here, so that concerns me there. Ultimately, my win-loss prediction for this team is 8-8. I just don't see how, after trading away Marcus Peters and going from a winning quarterback in Alex Smith, who gave you 26 touchdowns, to less than 10 interceptions last year. I think he had up with like 6 or 7 interceptions, maybe even 5. To Patrick Mahomes, who's going to give you more interceptions, and you will be lucky if he gives you as much or more touchdowns. Going from production A to production B, losing Marcus Peters, how are we getting more wins there? Yes, we have the addition of Sammy Watkins, yes, but that's it. You know, we're going from the veteran Alex Smith, who knew how to win games, to Patrick Mahomes, who's going to have to learn that. It's going to be a bumpy start. They're going to then get hot. So I have them starting 0-3, but then finishing 8-5. And then heading into the 2019-20 season, now we could talk about the Chiefs as being playoff, maybe even Super Bowl contenders, but I still think they need that year to get ready. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on the Kansas City Chiefs. What are your thoughts? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. I'll be back next time to discuss the Detroit Lions, a team that I'm very conflicted on. I still need to make up my mind about them, but it's time to decide now. This has been MJ, a sports fan entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.